Hello and welcome back to the Creative Differences podcast. I'm Dallas and I'm here to see if Gabby is going to thirst over Florence Pugh on mic.
Hello, I'm Gabby, and first of all, I'm finally back. Oh my god, nice to hear and see you, whatever, everybody, hi. And second of all, I'm big mad, and we'll get to it.
And I'm Demi, and I'm a Black Widow stan first and a Marvel fan second. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Throwback Thursdays, and Fancast Fridays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Today, we are reviewing a movie I have waited over a decade to experience and never thought I would. That's right, we are reviewing Black Widow, the 24th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Black Widow first appeared in the third ever movie in the MCU. Yes, Marvel, you are going to have to take these L's today.
I'm bitter. I'm so mad.
Welcome, guys.
But this movie is great, first of all. Let's start with that. Let's start with the positives.
Yes, well, before we start with anything, first of all, if you're wondering where Colin is, he's still in that Siberian prison that we told you about last week.
He couldn't get out.
Couldn't get out.
Deep in there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's a way to say that.
That's a way to,
so before we get
go.
into this, please like and subscribe so we can make a petition to get Colin out of the Siberian prison.
Where was I?
We didn't know.
God only knows where Gabby is.
Yeah, we had an
nobody
APB.
knew.
Oh yeah, I had I'm sorry, I was in one of my safe houses, not the one in Budapest.
For like 5 weeks.
Budapest. All right, yeah. So we're only reviewing one movie today. I mean, I guess I could talk about the Tomorrow War, but
No, fuck that.
No, I want to talk about Black Widow.
Sorry, Amazon.
Sorry, Amazon.
No offense,
to
Amazon.
Amazon. We just really care about this Black Widow movie today.
Yvonne Strahovski was great though, and that movie needed more of her. Anyway, Black Widow.
Actually, that could just be the review.
That is the review. Actually, that is the review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Black Widow, which was directed by Kate Shortland and written by Eric Pearson with a story by Jack Schaefer and Ned Benson. For those who don't know who Jack Schaefer is, she's the person who show ran WandaVision.
Yep.
The movie stars Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Rachel Weisz, and Ray Winstone. An IMDb summary is a film about Natasha Romanoff and her quests between the films Civil War and Infinity War. Well, that's correct, although there's only one quest, so it shouldn't be plural.
Yeah, but that,
Yeah.
I admire how much they didn't want to give away.
No,
They're like,
I love
it takes
it.
place between this movie, and Natasha's in it.
And that's
Go.
all you get.
Enjoy.
But
Yeah.
I like that they didn't tell us much. I like that I didn't know what I was walking into. I barely saw any trailers, so.
I'm going to say that we should format this way.
Mm.
Y'all should give y'all thoughts.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And then we'll round it out with all of mine. Because I wrote notes, but each note might as well be its own paragraph.
Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go.
So-
Dallas, you start, because I
so-
have more to
so
say than you do.
First impressions all around.
Oh,
First
first
impressions.
impressions.
That's an
Okay.
easy one.
Yes.
Yes. I liked it. It was dope. It took a while to get going for me, but then when it did, I was very excited. Shout out to Florence Pugh. She got the movie going for me. Not in a weird way. Just, when she came on
The
screen.
way you
got
said it,
better.
yeah, it could have been taken. Oh,
I didn't say she got me going. She got the movie going.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
exactly.
Yeah, sure.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Not in like a Gabby way.
Stop it.
Woo!
Speaking
We'll
of
get to
Gabby,
that later.
what'd you think?
I thought it was really great. I know people are a little bit upset about certain characters, but I knew nothing about that, so I thought it was great.
We're
I
probably
love.
not going to discuss that.
Huh?
Yes, we are.
I
Yeah.
feel like you can't, because then I feel
Dallas
like
is
you're
like-
spoiling things. If you
No.
do.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
All right.
Okay, great. Yeah, I thought it was really great. I loved the character story on Natasha. That's why I'm big mad, but we'll get to it.
And my first initial thoughts, that's going to sum up all the paragraphs of stuff that I wrote. As someone who's been waiting for 11 years for this movie, it was definitely worth all the waiting that I had to do. The action in Black Widow is great, but this film is at its best during its character moments. And in my opinion, it is the darkest and most mature Marvel movie so far.
Oh, hell yeah. The hysterectomy joke was no joke.
Yo. Yeah. But it still got to laugh.
Yeah, but
For me.
it was super dark,
Like,
but
no.
like, ooh, love it. I was
Yeah,
like, yes.
That was some dark
This
humor.
is the kind of humor that I am here for.
We got hella dark real quick.
Also, I love that they just dealt with that head on, but like, we'll move on.
Yeah, so Dallas and Gabby, y'all go ahead and talk about this movie, and I got
We'll
paragraphs,
get
guys.
to
I got
me.
paragraphs.
She's gonna talk for like a cool 15 minutes
by
straight.
myself. So you guys go ahead.
It's going to be such a weird episode. Okay.
It's better this way, trust me.
I'm going to get the Taskmaster thing out of the way so we can get back to some more positive things until Gabby gets mad and we get out of positive things. So, Taskmaster is a character that I don't know super well.
Same.
Yes. But I know the
Yeah.
character well enough to be disappointed. So, people range from bothered to upset about how they did Taskmaster in this movie. I'm more on the, I wouldn't have gone that route. I see why people are mad. it's not my favorite character or anything, but I know people out there who really like the character. When X-Men Origins came out and people who didn't know who Deadpool was didn't care. Honestly, I didn't either, because at that point I didn't know who Wade was. And then I saw who Deadpool was. I went back and watched the movie again. I was like, oh no, this sucks. So I just want to say that I wouldn't have expected Marvel Studios to treat a character the way Fox be doing them.
The Mandarin.
Mandarin's actually another example, because that was another character that I was like, okay, I don't know a lot about the Mandarin, but I know this isn't how they should be doing this.
Yeah, even
And
I knew that.
People were mad. People were really mad about the Mandarin.
Oh yeah, because that was gonna be a great villain, and then they just like ruined it. But I don't know anything about Taskmaster other than the mimicking thing.
Right.
So that's
And it sounds like neither does Marvel
All right,
Studios.
I guess I can jump in on this because I actually have no notes about Taskmaster in my thing. All I'm going to say is that I like the way that Taskmaster fits into this movie thematically, because to me, the themes of this movie are super important. And if you're going to have a villain, I want the villain to fit into that somehow.
Like be tied to the...
Yeah, I want it to be tied to what we're trying to say thematically.
Yeah.
What are we trying to say here? Your villain should represent the bad thing in your story.
And in this case, the villain is a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Your villain is a mirror.
That's deep.
There's levels.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. There's so many levels in this movie, and I can't discuss them because this is a non-spoiler review. So I can't tell you all the thoughts that I have about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are my thoughts about it. I understand completely because I've spent the last 11 years watching my favorite character be the background character to other people and being downplayed. So I totally get it.
Right.
But also, I'm not mad about it because it fits into this story so very well.
It also just like adds to the vulnerability.
God,
that
it adds to Natasha so much.
But like because you really start realizing as you're watching this movie, oh, wait, I don't know anything about this character. Like, I know this character's badass. I know this character will fight. I know if you're like, in a corner, like you want her to come in at some point to help get you out of it.
Yeah, you want Nat on your team.
I feel
but
like
I don't know anything about her as a person.
Yeah.
And then you learn, first of all, so much. And second of all, you learn that you've like never seen them vulnerable ever either. I love the character work in this movie.
Also, please note my very careful word usage while talking about that situation. Not trying to piss off fanboys, but also,
be as
I'm
general
happy.
as possible.
I'm fine.
Yeah. I feel like as far as like the treatment of the character goes, there's a difference between being a bad character and being a bad adaptation.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Taskmaster in this movie is a bad character. I think it's a bad adaptation of Taskmaster.
And that's a fair critique.
And comic book movies do that all the time.
From what I'm learning about Taskmaster now, because again, I did not really know much about them.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you on that. But if no one would have told me what Taskmaster is actually supposed to be, I don't think I would have cared. Like, because I thought the villain was fine, and also Taskmaster's.
We can't say too much about that.
Yeah, you're right.
We're also almost 10 minutes into this episode.
Yeah. So anyway, like I
Nervous
said,
laugh.
I agree with what you have to say about that. Like bad adaptation, but good villain. Or like
in terms of
thematically.
Yes. In terms of learning more about Natasha,
which is the point of this movie.
Yeah, I feel like, and I'm going to dance around spoilers here and not say anything. I feel like it was a bold choice. Natasha always has red in her ledger. It's a whole thing they always say. They've been saying it since forever.
The Avengers.
Exactly. I feel like they gave her too much red.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think they gave her
enough. And here's the thing. We can talk. Yeah. We can get specific about it after. But they show one of the things that Natasha does. And it's something that I don't even think we've seen a lot of villains do in these movies.
That's why I love it.
Yeah.
That's not okay. So
that is Natasha.
As someone who wants to like my heroes, that's not cool for me. Like,
but I feel like that makes it so that the earlier moments where she's like really like heavy about the red in her ledger, it means that there really is some stuff that she's done that is not cool. Because like you have to understand that she wasn't a hero, and she's not really a hero. She exists in a gray area, right? Whenever people are talking down to anybody in the Avengers group,
It's
they're
always
talking
to
down
Nat.
to Nat because they know she was like a bad guy.
By the
right?
way,
What do you mean?
screw
Hold
the
on, time
Avengers
out.
for that.
When you say whenever someone is talking down to an Avenger,
Whenever
what do you
they're
mean?
like,
a villain?
oh, not all of other Avengers are like, not all of everybody
either
here
you're
is a
talking-
good guy, and
either
then
you're
it's
talking
like
to Tony
swivel
or
to
you're
Nat.
talking to Nat.
Yeah, it's like swivel to Nat, or like you're talking to Tony, who was like a huge jerk.
I was gonna say, let's
generally
not pretend
speaking.
that the first Avengers movie they're not all talking down to each other.
Yeah, but like what
it's
I'm saying,
group. It's
No,
like Family Feud.
But
Yeah, I know,
after
but what I'm
that,
saying
it's
is,
mostly
like-
to Nat. It is mostly you're duplicitous. We can't trust you.
Yeah.
There's always somebody.
that's what Winter
and
Soldier was.
That's what upset me about Endgame was because when I came out of Endgame, my thought was Natasha's arc in the MCU is not an arc of redemption because we've never seen her do anything bad. All we've ever seen her be is a hero. Her arc is her trying to get the people around her that she loves to trust her. Because every movie, there's somebody going, you're duplicitous. I can't trust you.
Yeah.
You're a backstabber.
That's what like Winter Soldier was. Where like you actually like you were with Cap most of that, where you didn't really trust her until she was in the hospital going, I'm on your side. I'm not a bad guy from S.H.I.E.L.D. But you thought of all the people in that group, like it was gonna be Nat that was like a Hydra agent too.
This group is gonna this review is gonna be so long, and it's not even my fault at this point.
No, we're just like getting real in depth here. I just feel like that's what I mean by talk down though. Is like
Okay.
is like if
I
they
can
were
name
gonna
an
turn
occasion almost every single
Yeah,
movie
every
Nat is
single
in where
movie,
somebody
yeah.
talks down to her
around, dude,
about
Civil War.
being not able to trust her.
I feel like Civil War is not the best example because all those
Everybody
they're literally
they were
fighting each other.
but like I know, but like you didn't. Was like Natasha was gonna be on, and even she was switching sides too
Because
for
she
a minute
switched
there.
sides in the movie.
Because that-
If I call you duplicitous because you're on my team and then you're not, you're duplicitous. So Civil War is not a good example.
That's her.
If I can name it for every single Marvel movie except the one that she's the solo star in,
Yeah.
I think that's a thing that happens.
I think so.
It's a pattern.
feel
And I would
like
love
it's
to get
that
into
way.
that. We don't
But
have
we
time.
can't. We don't have the
But-
time for that.
What I was saying about the Red and the Ledger thing, and for the audience, here's the thing about us. Demi loves characters that are, let's call them morally ambiguous.
They're great.
Demi and Gabby are Slytherins.
That's true.
That's a faster way to sum that up.
Thank you.
So for me, I'm not speaking in terms of a narrative or a thematic like redemption arc. I'm thinking personally as a viewer, it's going to be really hard. That redemption arc, you haven't done enough given what I saw you do, because that's real messed up. Like that's not
Yeah.
okay. You killed people, whatever. You were a spy. Spies kill people. But that, okay.
I think it's funny. You guys are
It's too
getting
much.
way more specific about this movie than I planned to be.
Yeah.
I was very broad with my notes.
I think that was
Yeah.
the last like really keyed in thing, because that was the thing that
Like,
was like, ooh.
that plays into one of my notes,
Mhm.
but I didn't really like talk about it too hard.
And to
Yeah.
me, it was like that adds weight to everything she said before this. That makes sense.
Anyway, more general thoughts from you guys about this movie before I jump in here and just take over the show?
Yes, Yelena's so freaking dope.
Oh yeah, Yelena's great.
My baby.
I love the family dynamic. I mean, you see the family dynamic in the trailer, and it's just more of that better. David Harbour was really great. I really enjoyed when he was on screen. I had a great time.
I gotta say, my one disappointment is I was thinking about it today when I was rewatching it. That GIF that I love using as a reaction is
It's not
nowhere
in there.
in the movie.
It's not in the movie. I was
It's
waiting
not
for
in,
it.
not in the movie. It's nowhere
I was
in the
waiting. I
movie.
was like, where? Because the conversation they were having, it had its little moments of levity, but
Yeah.
it wasn't funny.
Oh, it is not a funny
So I was
conversation.
wondering, when is she gonna give that look? That
She
funny
never
little.
does.
I was like, oh, she
Ooh.
can't
But-
because
but-
they're making Yelena freaking cry at the table.
You know what? I'm just glad that GIF exists though, because
Yeah.
I love
It's a good
using
one.
it.
It works for a lot of stuff.
It works
Yeah.
whenever.
Now I wish it's just moments where I'm like sad about not working in film or anything, because like you could probably know somebody who knows somebody that has that like footage.
Oh,
I might.
she might. If all the people
And then
here
we
to
could
have
see-
it should be the
Yeah.
movie.
And then we could see like what actually was happening in that scene. That would have been great.
It's just a take that they didn't use.
Right. I want to talk about Alexi.
Alexi.
Alexi's funny, and there's one thing I was thinking that's ironic is is David Harbour American?
Yes.
It's funny to me because you have an American actor
Yeah.
playing a Russian man pretending to be an American,
Yes.
but his American accent is so much better than his Russian because the actor is American.
Same.
So that just made me laugh.
Yeah.
But he's funny. He's great. He's one of those characters that I feel like if you don't like that kind of humor, he could get on your nerves. but for me, he worked
Yeah.
very well.
I think he's supposed to get on your nerves. Though.
Yeah.
That's
He
the
definitely
thing.
gets on their nerves.
I think
Yeah.
he's supposed to be like, yeah, you're like your dad is a superhero, and you're like, Dad,
But if
like,
your dad was
stop."
like super egotistical,
yeah, and like just live in the glory days.
yeah.
But like, ugh, it was great.
But yes. Oh, Florence. She's dope. And I'm so glad that she's doing movies again that I want to see.
Oh my
Because,
God.
as I've said before, she won my heart in Fighting With My Family. I was like, who's that? She's awesome. And then she did 2 movies that I had nothing to do with because I didn't want to sit anywhere near those movies. And then I found out she was in Black Widow. I was like, oh my God, I get to see her again. And she's so funny.
And she was great.
She was
Oh,
great.
Fantastic.
Emotionally
Yelena was,
amazing.
she added so much
That's my girl.
comedy that I didn't expect.
Oh yeah, me
My
too.
second favorite widow.
But also, it was comedy that I can relate to. She sounded like that's the kind of critiques you get from your cousins when you think you're cool.
She was such a
but
little
like
sister.
exactly, and
Yeah, she had this weird,
like
like
the recurring joke, and it was great.
she had this almost kind of adorable quality to her. She's
Yes.
like, this is the first piece of clothing I ever bought myself. And Natasha's
Aw,
like,
and you're just like,
"That?"
"Aw." And she's like, and you chose
And
that?
So you gotta roast
Natasha's
her.
like, dang, let me be a good big sister real
Right.
quick.
Like, why is it so great? It has so many pockets.
"It has so many pockets."
Which is also
But
such a
also
woman
something
thing.
women do
It's
like.
such
We
a
love
woman thing.
It's funny
pockets.
because I looked over at Kayla. I was like, oh, that's you. And you get something with pockets in it. She's like, yes.
Literally, it's every woman. We're just like, it has pockets.
Or
Yeah.
like, especially with dresses, it's like, thanks, it has pockets.
I've seen like there's that meme. It's like, I love your dress. Thanks, it has pockets. And I was like, that's Yelena.
It's just women in general.
Completely unrelated. At work, I fucking hated this. So we have work pants, and they bought us like women's work pants. And normally we have men's work pants. And
No
they have
pockets.
these Nope, pockets. I'm like, I'm doing the same work, guys.
It's really sad when women can tell what the rest of the story is going to be
I'm
without
doing-
knowing the story.
I'm doing the same work, you guys. I need the deep pockets. No pockets.
Same thing when we worked at ArcLight. The men's shirt had pockets and the women's shirts
Yeah,
didn't.
that was
it
very
was
strange.
dumb.
It's like, we're all doing the same exact
We're doing
thing.
We all need
same
pens.
jog.
Okay.
Any other notes from you guys?
We should have gotten this movie after Civil War.
I try to avoid critiquing this movie based on that. Because
I'm
I
just-
will just forever be mad if I continue to think
I'm
about
just,
it. I think
it's the thing that makes me the most upset because first of all, I know what the end credit scene should have been, which made like for real, which like we could put at the end of the podcast and we can like put a beep on it if you want spoilers. Or not. So, because I really want to talk about what my like ideal end credit scene would be for that, and
Maybe-
you guys would all agree with me.
maybe for the for our year in review episode, because you know this movie's gonna pop up on the top 10 list.
Oh, it definitely is.
Spoiler alert!
But I'm just mad because first of all, this is a great movie. It's
It's so
making
good.
hella money.
It's making so
It
much
makes
money.
so
How?
much money, and
We're in a panorama.
yeah.
I'm
We're
so
in a
proud of this.
panini.
I'm so proud of this movie though. You remember when we were
but
talking
it's
about
so
Nick
good.
Fury being proud of Natasha?
Mhm.
I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you, Nat.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of
Dude,
you.
this was a great movie, and that's why I'm bitter because we deserved better. We deserved this movie, and we deserved it years ago, like half a decade ago.
I've been saying this
When Civil War
No, I've been saying this since 2012. So almost
We all
10
wanted
years.
Nat to have her own movie after Avengers because she was so great.
She
in
was
it.
so cool.
like, I
but
was
yeah.
like, oh my god.
Been waiting since 2012. So at this point, it's very much just a defeated. It should have come earlier, but it's here. Thank God.
Yeah, but I'm bitter,
That's
and
where I'm
like
at.
we should. I'm just mad.
That's actually just the life of
So
a
mad.
Natasha stan. You just kind of you roll with the punches at this point. You're angry, but also like, thank God you gave us a movie. Do I need to go into my notes now? 'Cause
Yeah,
we're
go
Yeah, let's do it.
We're like 20 minutes in.
Go ahead.
Great. All right, let's
I'm
rock with
surprised
this.
we were only 20 minutes in.
So I'm so glad. First off, this is kind of off. It's on topic, but off topic. It's not really about Black Widow. It was just great to be back in a theater for a Marvel movie. I saw the movie twice in theaters. The first time regular digital cinema. The second time in IMAX. Which, oh my gosh, if you are down to pay some extra money, please go see it in IMAX because that lasts like 20 minutes or so. Bruh, so amazing, man. Once that screen expands, it's a, whew,
Hold on, time out.
yeah.
So Kayla and I saw the movie in IMAX today, and one thing we were telling Gabby before is did you see it at AMC?
Yes,
Okay. The marketing for IMAX
it's ridiculous.
is ridiculous.
It's
We-
hardcore.
They gave
go
us
hard in the paint.
20 minutes of trailers, which okay, AMC, do your thing.
That's every movie
And then
theater outside
they
of
do
ArcLight.
the welcome to AMC. Please turn off your phone. Blah blah blah
But
blah.
then they have the IMAX trailer.
Right, and I was like, okay, cool. So we made it. We're in.
No.
And then
No.
we
Absolutely.
see this thing on the screen, and I'm like, is this Black Widow? Who's this girl? And it's like, step into a world
Yes.
where you have enhanced picture and
That's what they
enhanced
do.
sound. And then they did another world. And I was like, is this another Avatar?
It's a big marketing thing.
And
Yeah.
it's IMAX. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now we can get to the movie. We're about
they have the
30
countdown.
minutes in. And then they do the countdown in blue. And I'm like, yo, this could have been before the trailers. It could have been right after the trailers. It could have been before AMC's little
My question
deep
is,
voice, man.
why are they doing advertisement for IMAX during an IMAX movie?
Because
I
they
already
want
bought
you
the
to see
ticket.
more.
Like, I already
But-
bought the ticket, bro.
But like, I'm already
here.
here.
You got me.
dude.
I spent
Like,
extra already.
Exactly.
And if you want to do one to remind me, because not everybody knew, I'm sure, my family might not have known this is an IMAX movie.
Okay,
But
but not 2 or 3.
Yeah, just give
and
me the
like
one.
a countdown.
just give me the one.
Oh, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got me. I gave you the extra money. I'm sitting here already. I'm not
It's
going
like, why are
I'm
you
not gonna
bombarding
leave.
me with
Oh, yeah.
IMAX propaganda?
But yeah, no, it was just nice to be in a movie theater like for Marvel again.
Mhm.
And the first showing that I went to was maybe half full. It was probably mostly full. And then, but when I went to the IMAX
We
showing,
had a full theater.
it
man.
was a full theater.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
I was
Same.
like, when I bought my ticket or when I checked my ticket 2 days ago, nobody was sitting around me. There were 5 people in this row. Now this entire row is taken up, and basically the entire theater.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Basically
that's
sold out.
Marvel's like reputation because no other movie. I think I
definitely
went
is.
to another movie before this. I can't remember which one.
Dude,
but I
Fast
went.
9 wasn't even that full.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely Marvel's reputation, which also leads me to being big mad because I'm like, your reputation alone would have put butts in that seat for a Black Widow movie 5 years ago.
4 years. Listen, we got
Especially-
to move on from that though.
No, I'm gonna say it. 'cause
I'm never
gonna
gonna get through my notes. We are 25 minutes.
I'm sorry,
in
but
almost.
I'm just bitter about it, and I'm gonna say it.
Gabby,
I'm saying
you've
it.
expressed your bitterness.
No, I'm gonna keep expressing
You're
it.
like the IMAX people
I'm
now.
mad.
She's
Big
literally
mad.
expressing it more than
Yeah,
I am.
I am for propaganda reasons. IMAX gets to do it. Gabby gets to do it.
Oh my gosh. All right, but yeah, it was cool. It was great just to be back in a movie theater with a bunch of people to see a Marvel movie. This movie, man, Scarlett Johansson is finally allowed to be her absolute best as Natasha Romanoff. She gets to put Natasha's whole heart on her sleeve. She doesn't have to do all the pretending to be okay thing. It's cool. She always seems to be teetering on this line between breaking and keeping it all together up until basically Act 3, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. I love it. The film really shows us just how compassionate Nat is and how much of her actions are led by her heart. And that's something I appreciate because that's an aspect of her that I've always felt is somewhat overlooked or not acknowledged, even if it's there. She suffers from quite a bit of survivor's guilt in this movie. And I like how they resolve that survivor's guilt. I like that she is like, she's the hero, but she's a hero who has done something wrong. And there are people who hold her accountable, namely Yelena,
Yeah.
who hold her accountable for her actions, not only for things that have happened before the movie, but also things that happen within the movie itself. I loved seeing Nat do normal things.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when the paparazzi photos came out and it was just Scarlett Johansson coming out of a grocery store and putting groceries in a bag and getting in a truck and driving off. And I was just like, I'm going to get to see Nat go grocery shopping? Like, that's a
Yeah.
thing. I got to see Nat go grocery shopping. I got to see Natasha watch movies.
Yeah.
Natasha Romanoff likes movies and she can quote them.
Yeah, she likes James Bond movies.
She likes James Bond movies.
Like, spoiler.
It's amazing. It's great. Like,
And she knows how to fix a generator.
and this is how you know I've been deprived for like the last like 11 years because I'm excited about these normal.
The most mundane things you could do in the movie.
But like, it adds. There's just.
It adds to her.
And it also makes you realize how little you knew about this character.
Knew nothing.
Like, we didn't know anything for 10 years.
Guys, I've been making up headcanons for like 11 years,
Yeah.
and now there are things that I have confirmed in my head that I'm like, oh, that's on screen. That's a thing that Nat actually does. It's not something I just made up. I mean, it was something I made up, but now it's confirmed. This movie also makes fantastic callbacks to like previous tactics that Nat has used and really emphasizes the fact that Nat is a tactical and strategic master.
Oh, yeah. She's an interrogating master, dude.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, that was my favorite part. I was like, yes, on purpose.
The third act, listen, I think that scene might have punched me in the freaking chest when she said that line. I was
Dude,
just
I was like, yes.
I was like, what a fantastic callback. Oh man, the third act is like basically the culmination of all things that I love about Nat.
Yeah.
That's just my notes on Natasha. Florence Pugh gets a stellar intro as my second favorite widow, Yelena Belova. Yelena is incredibly funny, as we've said before, but also has excellent emotional moments. Florence really finds that vulnerability and toughness that comes with the character's history in the same way that Scarlett has always done for Natasha, even when we didn't have a backstory for her. And I think Yelena's story arc is just as great as Natasha's. as somebody who loves their relationship in the comics, this movie does it differently, but I think it does a wonderful job of taking Nat and Yelena's relationship and sort of reinterpreting it. And I didn't know I could love these two widows more until I saw this movie. Scarlett and Florence's chemistry is just so palpable, and I desperately want more. And my biggest disappointment is that I'm probably never going to get more.
Once again.
Oh, here we go.
Once again.
Listen, she's right though. She's right though.
Continue.
Are you going to tell her that she's wrong?
You're going to sit here and tell me that I'm wrong?
She's right, and she should say it. I desperately want more of their chemistry. I wanted Natasha and Yelena for so long, and to see them on screen, it was just like, this is perfect. This is great. This isn't the relationship that I anticipated that it would be, but it plays out so well that I love everything about it. And then if you see interviews with Scarlett and Florence, that's what they're like in real life. It just transfers, and it's so good. David Harbour and Rachel Weisz, also really fantastic.
Rachel Weisz broke my heart a little bit.
A little bit.
Especially at the, the beginning.
But this is my favorite Marvel family that we've had on film. This is my favorite group. They got the perfect actors to play these characters, and they just play off each other so very well.
And like just how, again, with the vulnerability word again, but also just in general, just like you knew that they knew each other intimately, and so that came out in every scene that they were together, even though you also knew that they like had not seen each other
in 20 years.
In 20 years. Yeah.
I love the story that they decided to tell for Nat. It's what I've always wanted, but also not what I could have imagined, which is weird to say.
Yeah.
But like it was like, yeah, these are the things that I want out of a story for Black Widow, but also I had no idea in my head of how I would want them to go about it, and this does it. The movie touches on topics of human trafficking, women's autonomy, how women help each other through trauma. And I really like the way that they play that through Natasha, Yelena, and Melina. And also Alexia in quite a bit.
Yeah.
It also kind of critiques the way that Natasha has been portrayed in past movies.
What do you mean?
Age of Ultron, I'm a monster because I'm infertile.
Oh,
and then there's the scene of Yelena and Nat going, the Red Room did this and this and this and this, and getting very clinical about it.
Yeah.
And there are several moments like that where it kind of just really interrogates the way that the MCU has constantly treated Natasha throughout these films.
Yeah.
That's a weird
but
thing
also
to me.
like changing times and norms, right?
And I read an article about that. Scarlett Johansson has said a number of times that this movie would not have been, she wouldn't have been able to do a movie that was about sexism or anything like in this movie had they made this movie 10 years ago.
Which is 100% true.
I always thought the Age of Ultron line, which I guess, given the context, is incorrect. I always thought she was saying, you're not the only monster because she's killed so many people.
That's also how I took it, but most people are still upset about they
think it's because she can't have a baby. Which
I can
is
see how they would take it that
such
way.
a dumb thing to put in a movie. But it's like you have a character who repeatedly talks about her past and how many bodies she done caught. And when she says, you think you're the only monster, I'm like, oh yeah, she's talking about popping niggas in the head. But no. She's saying I can't have babies? Like, what?
Yeah. So this
whatever.
movie kind of interrogates a lot of those things, and I really appreciate that. The inclusion of certain events that we've heard about, Budapest in particular, was done very well, and it enhanced those stories instead of being super fan servicey, which I also appreciate because I never wanted to see Budapest, and now that we've seen a bit of it and heard a little bit of it in this movie, I now actually am interested in seeing that story. Think it would be dope. The opening of this film feels unlike anything in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, it almost does not feel like a Marvel movie once it starts.
It doesn't.
Violet McGraw is super adorable as young Yelena.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to Ever Anderson, who plays young Natasha, because she does a magnificent job for those first, 10, 15
Dude,
minutes.
Her eyes killed me.
It's, man, the tone of this movie starts with Ever Anderson.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
We were watching it, and Kayla leaned over and said something like, she looks like Mia Jovovich.
And that's her daughter.
That's her daughter.
That's
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's Mila Jovovich's daughter.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which is pretty dope. Also, fun fact, Ever Anderson is actually learning to speak Russian. So
isn't Mila?
Because Mila's
She is
Russian.
Russian, yes.
Yeah, so she's learning to speak Russian.
Also, shout out to Violet McGraw because she's in The Haunting of Hill House,
No.
which I don't think you guys watched.
No.
Because
No,
why
but
would you?
I
But
don't want to be horrified.
Colin, if you're listening, you know.
Kate Shortland does a great job of giving moments that feel more like indie movies than Marvel movies. Like, some of the shots, I was just like, this feels more indie than Marvel.
Dude, the opening with the shaky cam and the follow.
There's a lot of shaky cam in this film.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
But I thought the moments that they picked were really good. You
Yeah.
knew that the shaky cam was also there for a shaky character,
imbalance.
emotional moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She makes the fight scenes like super visceral and
Dude.
like really brings the
John
audience
Wick
into it.
vibes.
Okay, so here's the thing.
And Atomic Blonde vibes.
This is the first Marvel movie I've watched where I've sat there and like winced because it looked like it hurt.
Yes, dude, yes. Me too. I was like, oh.
The number
Like-
of times Nat would like
Yep.
take a hit, I was like, God, that looks like it hurts.
I was like, ouch.
Oh man, I was like, that looks
Yeah.
painful. Also,
Definitely Atomic Blonde vibes.
delightful usage of the color red. I appreciate it. Love it. Thank you. I loved Lauren Balfe's score, especially the more sentimental pieces and the more
Dude.
paranoid feeling ones.
Mm-hmm.
I actually
it's a
found
good score.
myself listening to the score last night for no reason at all.
Dude, the cello usage in that score is A+.
I thought the car chase, whenever Taskmaster pops up, the score gets hilariously dramatic because it's like relatively normal spy action movie score, and then Taskmaster shows up in that big ass truck, and it's like, oh.
I loved that.
The whole score is pretty Russian.
I was
Yes,
like, I love
but
this
Taskmaster's
so much.
entrances were
I mean, that's
so
what
great.
you do with your bad guys, man. Also, I'm pretty sure that Black Widow is the only one to have the Avengers theme in her solo film, and you know what? It's what she deserves.
I noticed that at the end. I didn't realize that it was the only one.
I think she's the only solo character. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure she's the only solo character to get it in her solo film. And like I said, she deserves it. Thank you to, I believe her name is pronounced Jani Tamim, for Nat's best Black Widow suits, and apparently the most comfortable one as well.
Very nice. Of
Also-
course, in
yeah.
the woman, like the
It's-
woman
yeah,
film.
exactly.
Of fucking course.
It's the most comfortable one, according to Scarlett Johansson.
And honestly, it looks comfortable. Like I was like, oh, I could rock that one.
Also-
especially the one on Florence Pugh because it was a little looser.
Nice.
Comfy AF.
Also, thank you to whoever gave the go-ahead for Scarlett to wear all 10 of her left ear piercings, because
Oh yeah, hella.
hella, and letting Florence Pugh wear hers. It's also your fault that I'm now seriously considering piercing my ears a number of times. It's also Scarlett Johansson's fault, because every time I see the 10 piercings in her ear, I'm like, that looks so cool.
Dude,
I kind of
love
want to do it.
Dude, I'm too afraid to get my ears pierced, but I full on got one ear tatted.
I mean, you have a tattoo in
I
your
have
ear.
a tattoo in my ear.
That's so much, bro. And my last note for this movie, because I've had a lot of notes, but my last note, the post-credit scene. I will not spoil anything, but Yelena, I'm rooting for you, and so is most of the Black Widow fandom.
Dude, I'm hella rooting for you, babe. Hella.
You got this, girl. I'm waiting to see what happens.
Hi, baby girl.
You
Yes.
got it. We got it. And yeah, that's my review for Black Widow. Shout out to my friend Britt, who has been listening to all of my rants and ravings about Natasha for like the last 5 or 6 years. Probably every thought in my head that I've ever had about Natasha, Britt reads at some point, so that my other friends don't have to. And it's great because I've read all of hers as well.
Yay.
Very nice, very nice.
Shout out to her. She's dope. I did want to say this is tied for my favorite Marvel movie alongside Black Panther. For
Dude.
very separate reasons. It turned out to be amazing and great and everything I wanted it to be. So yeah, it gets to tie it with Black Panther because Black Panther was like the character the world needed, but Black Widow was the character I needed.
Which is funny because even without having seen the movie, you said this exact thing in our Iron Man 2 episode.
And because
pretty
I
much.
knew. I knew.
You knew.
I knew.
You knew.
I don't think I've been this anxious about a movie release since like Star Wars.
And see, it looked great to me the whole time. Like, I was not afraid.
Well,
I was
no,
like, this
it-
is going to be a good
It
movie.
looked great, but I was also afraid that it wouldn't be.
No, I get that. That's the same fear I had for Guardians. I
Like-
was like, are they going to get this right? They could mess this up really easily.
Also, I did not mention that I actually made it through the whole movie without crying.
What? How?
So,
I cried.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, you know what? Let me rephrase my statement. So I thought I was gonna clap when the opening titles came up, which I couldn't because by that point we had gotten so dark in the movie
yeah.
it was inappropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
can't
you
clap
can't
right there.
do that.
Oh my gosh,
Mm-mm.
those opening credits are first off amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I
Yeah,
was
family
deep in
trauma.
a pit of anxiety. I was like deep into a pit of anxiety at that point.
Yeah, but like it was funny because I've said for years I won't believe that a Black Widow movie is coming out until I'm sitting in a theater watching it, and that's basically what happened. I was sitting there and the movie was starting, and I was like, "Oh my god, wait, I'm actually watching a Black Widow movie right now. This is amazing." I got through to the end, and like I got teary-eyed occasionally just out of pure happiness. But then the credits started rolling, and I legitimately was in my seat crying because I was like, "Yo." It finally happened.
So you made it to the credits.
I made it to the credits, and then I started like legitimately. I might sob in this theater if I don't control myself right now.
Wow.
I was just so happy that this movie existed. So yeah, of course it's my number one next to Black Panther, because Black Panther I felt a similar way about.
I feel you.
For two totally different reasons.
Yeah, how you're feeling with this is how I felt with Deadpool 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this is a scam. They're lying. Fox didn't make this movie.
This didn't happen.
They trying to trick me. I sat down, I got my ticket. I was like, they playing. And the movie came. I was like, oh my god,
they're not playing.
Ryan Reynolds is here.
Right? Like you're just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, this is a movie that's. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what Batman and Superman fans feel like all the time, and Spider-Man fans when they get 3 reboots.
Oh yeah.
I got
F
one
those
movie
people.
and I started crying, guys.
F those people.
I started.
Oh, it's like the guy that's looking at the Black Panther poster and was like, "Is this how white people feel
Oh, yeah.
all
Yes.
the time?"
Yes, absolutely.
I would love this country too.
I was like, this is how people who like mainstream heroes feel all the time. Oh my god,
Yeah.
this is amazing. We should move on though to what you've been doing, what you've been watching, all sorts of stuff.
Yes. Am I starting?
You can.
Actually, Gabby, do you have anything?
It's probably best if you do.
Ted motherfucking Lasso. Let's
Cool.
go.
Let's start with Gabby because she hasn't been here in like 5
I
weeks.
should probably time this because, dear God.
Ted Lasso is about to release season 2, July 23rd. If you don't know what Ted Lasso is, it's a show on Apple TV Plus. It stars Jason Sudeikis and among others, and it is about an American football coach that moves to England to be a rest of the world football coach in the Premier League, which is the like highest professional league in England. It's massively popular. It's Manchester United, Chelsea Football Club, etc. Those are the teams in the Premier League. He moves there to be a coach for Premier League, and it's about his kind of struggles and foibles. Ted Lasso is based off of a series of commercials that Jason Sudeikis did for NBC around 2012-2013 when they were going to broadcast the Premier League here in the United States. And then they just took that character and made him this really kind of sweet guy that's just in a place where he's out of his element, and the main theme from the show is just like kindness and hope. It's like people have lost their minds over the show, and it for a good reason, because it's kind of what you needed during the pandemic.
Got it.
Just kindness and hope, and that's really what you get here. Like, and Ted Lasso is just like this nice dude that you start off thinking maybe he's an idiot, and then you end up with like, I want him to succeed. Yeah, I highly recommend Ted Lasso. It was really great. It broke my heart and like gave me so much hope at the same time. I'm obsessed with it. I've watched it like 3 times, 10 episodes, 20 minutes each. The second season comes out July 23rd. I'm making everybody in my family watch it.
Wow.
Because I found out that Apple TV Plus has so many languages.
Oh, nice.
So they have it in. Not only do they have it in Spanish, they have Latin American Spanish, which is different from the Spain Spanish, which they talk in a lisp, and it's
sounds like me today when I was on Disney Plus and discovered how many languages that they had for you to watch stuff in. I was
it's great.
Didn't know that was
Disney Plus has a lot of languages.
Yeah.
Netflix does for their Netflix originals, because like I've been trying to find Parks and Rec in Spanish so my mother can fully appreciate it, because she liked it. She's like, I don't get all the jokes, and I cannot find it anywhere. I'm super upset. I don't like it. NBC.
If anybody knows a spot,
not even on their
comments.
DVD. Not even in their DVD do they have it in Spanish.
Yeah,
which makes
Peacock doesn't have it in Spanish?
No,
Wow.
I'm just like very sad.
Yeah, no, Disney Plus is wildin'.
But Disney Plus has so many languages. Apple TV Plus has literally every language that is available on Earth, I think. Not all of them. It has so many. Like, I will show you. It you scroll for a while to find Spanish. Like, it took me a while.
You should show us after this.
I will show you after this.
Dallas, what you got, bro?
Okay, I'm so glad I let Gabby go first because she talked about hope and kindness, I think is what you said.
Yep.
You said hope and kindness and a guy who you think might be an idiot, but you really want him to succeed. So we're going to take it to the opposite side of the Apple TV spectrum and talk about Mythic Quest.
A bunch of
Because
assholes.
hope and kindness is not the vibe. Mythic Quest is amazing. Let's give everybody their due. It is created by Charlie Day, Megan Gans, and Rob McElhenney. They did Always Sunny together, and they're still doing Always Sunny together. That show has like 85 seasons, and it's going strong.
15 seasons.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's written by a bunch of people, but I want to point out Katie McElhenney, Rob's sister. I want to point her out because there are 2 seasons, and once each season, she comes in, writes one of the dopest episodes, and then just dips. Because in the first season, she wrote Dark Quiet Death,
which is the best episode of
so
that
great.
season.
And then in the second season, she wrote Please Sign Here, which is also amazing. Shout out to the wonderful podcast, Questy Besties.
Yes.
Because I'm learning so much about the show. It's a companion podcast starring Charlotte Nickdow, Jesse Ennis, Imani Hakim, Ashley Birch, and David Hornsby. And they brought Katie on, and she said that Dark Quiet Death was the first episode of TV she has written. And I am astounded.
Yep.
I am envious.
Yep.
I am fearful.
Yep.
There's just so many emotions.
She's so good.
I'm like, yo, whatever.
It's such a good episode.
Because apparently she was writing books before, and Rob, her brother, was like, you got to cut it out with the books. Come over to TV.
He's like, you're not making any money, and I can get you a job making so much money.
Oh, man.
To have a brother like that.
Right? So, yeah.
That's what you have me for.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Get us a job making so much money.
Yeah, come on, man.
I'm trying, but first I have to get the job that makes me a lot of money, and then I can help you guys out.
That's fair.
We'll get there. We'll be Katie, you be Rob.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
But the show is so good. And it's the opposite of Ted Lasso because it's a bunch of people who are, let's say, good at their job.
Yeah.
In a chaotic way. They're good, but they're dicks to each other and everyone around them.
It's a dysfunctional
So
family.
it's very dysfunctional. But when you let them all do their job, they do it very well. Danny Pudi as Brad, I am still so amazed that he's able to play basically heartless villain
Yep.
because he's so nice in real life. He's so good at it. Everyone is so good. It's just hilarious. If you haven't seen the show, it's on Apple TV Plus. Find a friend who has it and get their password because I don't think a lot of people have.
And
this
then
streaming service.
log in while they're there in front of you, so you can get that trust.
I think my dad has it, and I just have never used it.
Okay, Gabby's being very specific in the way that you use someone else's streaming service.
Hilarious.
Also, just want to say I've seen all of season 2. Gabby has not, so I'm not going to get too specific. But I just want to say that the way the new season ends, it feels like it could be a wrap up for everything, but it also is hopeful for what comes next if they do something next. But shout out to everyone involved. Mythic Quest is fantastic.
Oh, it's so good. But what about you, Demi?
All right, guys, I'm going to try and do this in 3 minutes or less.
Do it.
Also,
Vámonos.
Also, I just want to let you guys know in the audience, I'm going to be letting you know what my Black Widow watch count is. Currently, it is 3 times within the span of like 4 days. So
Sounds about right.
Sounds like our Black Panther watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Twice in cinema and once at home to watch on Disney Plus. Because yes, I did spend an extra $30 to watch it on Disney Plus. But anyway,
Dude, me too.
I'm staying on topic with Black Widow, and I'm going to be giving recommendations for some of my favorite Black Widow series in comics. And I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible because I've got like 6 series listed on here. So I'm going to name off the series, the year it came out, who it's written by, who the art's by, and I'm going to give you guys the summary as given by Comixology, which is where I get all my digital comics. Just so you guys know, Comixology is currently having a Black Widow sale until July 18th. So if you're interested, go buy some stuff. So yeah, Black Widow, with the current series running from 2020, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Elena Casagrande.
Ooh.
The summary is, something is very wrong with Natasha. She's happy. The widow has been a spy almost as long as she's been alive, and she's never stopped running, whether she was working for the good guys or the bad. But retirement definitely agrees with the world's deadliest woman as she revels in perfect life she never dreamed she could have. But scratch the surface of that perfect life, and you'll find something very wrong lurking beneath it. And a woman like Nat just can't help but scratch. Beyond San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge lies a mystery only the Marvel Universe's greatest spy can solve. For anybody who is interested, Yelena is a supporting character in this series. Their relationship is a lot more like the movie than it usually is in comic books.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Hawkeye and Bucky Barnes appear in the first arc of the series.
Nice.
The first ever comic that I ever read of Black Widow, shout out to my friend Lauren, who is the reason I know a lot of details about Nat that are very small. But also she's the one who recommended this comic to me. It's called The Name of the Rose, and it's from 2011. It's written by Marjorie Liu, and art is by Daniel Acuna. Natasha Romanoff is the Black Widow, longtime Avenger and a spy for even longer. But now someone has tried to kill Natasha, and almost succeeded. Injured gravely, almost beyond her ability to recover, Black Widow sets out to find her attacker. Like I said, this is the first series I ever read, and it is a heartbreaker.
Ooh.
Black Widow, the Itsy Bitsy Spider. This series... This is like an omnibus. It's like 2 series in one. So the first one, Itsy Bitsy Spider, is written by Devin Grayson, and the art is by J.G. Jones. I might have written this summary. While on mission to stop the release of a dangerous biotoxin, Natasha Romanoff comes in conflict with Yelena Belova, a young Russian agent determined to prove herself as the Black Widow by killing Natasha.
All right.
And then the second part of it is Breakdown, written by Devin Grayson and Greg Rucka. Art by Scott Hampton, and this is my favorite summary because it's literally I wrote this one for sure because it just says Natasha Romanoff gives Yelena Belova a whole identity crisis.
That sounds like you wrote it.
Yeah. That's literally the summary. This comic series consists of the first time Natasha and Yelena ever meets, and it gives you a good breakdown of what their comic book dynamic is like, which is very different. it's pretty different than the movie because they're pretty much enemies most of the time.
Got it.
Black Widow series 2014 to 2015, written by Nathan Edmondson, art by Phil Noto.
That's the one I read.
Vo-
That's the one I have comics for.
It's great.
individuals.
That's the one I'm currently reading. Volume 1, The Finely Woven Thread. Volume 2, The Tightly Tangled Web. And Volume 3, Last Days. The Comicsology summary is, you've seen Black Widow as an Avenger and even an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but on her own time she searches for atonement for her past as a KGB assassin, in ways of which those teams just wouldn't approve. Maria Hill appears throughout Volume 2, and it also has guest appearances from characters that...
X-23's in that one.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and it has guest appearances from characters that MCU fans will definitely recognize. I'm not going to say who because it's a lot more fun if you read it yourself. I'm actually currently rereading it.
Question. How
Yeah.
many issues is that one?
That's why I listed off the volumes, because the first volume has 7 issues already, and the second one I think has 6 or something. So it's got to be about 20-something issues of comic books.
I do have all of it.
Yeah. Black Widow, 2016 to 2017, written by Chris Samney and Mark Waid, art by Chris Samney. Volume 1 is S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Most Wanted. Volume 2 is No More Secrets. Natasha has spent years gathering secrets, and when some of the darkest ones begin mysteriously going public, no one is safe. With her betrayed former Confederates, I don't know why they use that word, at S.H.I.E.L.D. on her heels, and a lifetime of training and ingenuity at her disposal, Natasha's out for answers in a knockdown, drag-out tale of action and espionage. Hidden enemies, old friends, and unusual allies collide, and all eyes are on Black Widow. The chase is on. And then my final one is a recommendation if you are a fan of Yelena Belova. This entire series is just Yelena. It is called Pale Little Spider, and it was written in 2002. Written by Greg Rucka, art by Igor Kordy. It was written for Marvel Max, which means it is
intense.
More of an adult comic.
Yes.
I read this years back, back when I first started getting into Yelena. The summary is, when her former mentor is found brutally murdered in a Moscow bondage club, Belova must go deep undercover to find the killer. Torn by self-doubt and divided loyalties, she descends into a world of deadly games and deadlier predators.
All right. Shout out to Bondage.
Now, I mean, it came up last time we talked about Natasha, so here we are bringing it up again.
Did it?
BDSM, yeah.
All right. Cool.
Oh, yeah, Dominatrixes.
Oh, yeah. Dominatrixes.
Second episode in a row, guys, and both to do with Black Widow. We are killing it. But yeah, those are my recommendations for Black Widow comics that have been written in the last 20 years. I just spent $60 on Black Widow comics I've never read before. Well, no, I bought some that I didn't own but had read before too. But yeah, I spent a lot of money, so now I'm going to read some more Black Widow comics. I was hoping to reread all of these before we did this episode, and then I realized I needed to start like 2 weeks earlier.
Yes, that sounds like a lot of reading.
Yeah, I got through like 2, and then... And well, 2. To be fair, like 2 volumes, and then
That's a lot.
number 9 of the current Black Widow series came out like the week before the movie came out, so I read that as well.
I dig it.
But yeah, let's move on to news because we have been going on for
Ever.
An
a
hour.
while.
Yeah.
On news of Marvel, they released the trailer for What If.
They did, and I'm so excited
I
because
haven't
this is
seen
the
it.
show.
I can't do it.
You haven't seen this trailer?
I can't.
That's
do
okay.
it.
This is the show that I was most excited about when they were like, hey, look, all the shows are streaming, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Man, Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher.
It's the Watcher.
Yo, that dude's voice is fantastic.
For the Watcher?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Isn't that perfect?
Yeah.
The animation looks dope. I love anthology series.
Yes.
Series?
Series.
It's just series.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first animated series MCU has done.
It is the first animated series the MCU has done.
Which I've always hated.
To be fair, the first series that the MCU had done was WandaVision, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the whole Marvel TV was a separate blah, 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 blah. But I've always hated that DC's animation has always kicked Marvel's ass. Because
most people do.
I love Marvel's characters, and I love their movies, but they just don't make really great cartoons. Sometimes they do.
Yes.
Spider-Man has had good luck. The old, like the 90s X-Men is very 90s, but, you know, it's
X-Men
universally loved.
Evolution is still amazing. I don't care what
The
anybody
show's dope.
says.
Yeah.
But DC has been making amazing animation since we were children, and they haven't stopped.
Yeah.
And Marvel's just like,
That's the thing. Marvel's killing in the live action arena,
Yeah.
but DC's like, yo, our animated movies, we killing.
right.
Yeah. DC
So-
had to have something, guys. I'm just kidding.
That's true. They got it.
I mean, they got some great comics too, though.
They do. They're
But-
the ones that are like have it together timeline wise better than Marvel does. Marvel's timeline is like, oof, a hot mess. It's why I had to stop reading comics a little.
Yeah, comics are a mess. But What If looks dope and it has Chadwick in it. And
His final role.
It's his final role.
Rest in peace.
And Gabby's going to cry.
That's fair. I think we're actually getting Natasha episode as well.
Oh,
in
dope.
What If? She's on the poster.
I did not
and
know that.
She is barely in the trailer, and I
I didn't see her.
had read rumor that she was going to have an episode in the series. I think her episode is what if Ultron got a hold of the Infinity Stones.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think that's a Natasha episode. So maybe Black Widow's not the last time I get to hear Scarlett Johansson play Natasha, but it might be. I don't know, because they have recast a few actors within
I feel
this
like
TV show.
the only one I caught in the trailer was Tony got recast. Because I got Chadwick back.
Other people have noted. I think
they're
Captain
not.
Marvel is supposed to be in the series, and Brie Larson isn't doing the voice. I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch is doing the voice of Doctor Strange.
What the hell, guys? But whatever. They got Haley Atwell back.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
Love her.
Yeah, they got Haley
Chadwick
back.
They got Yondu back.
Natalie's supposed to be in it. Natalie Portman.
Oh, fun.
Oh.
I was looking at when Comic-Con, I think they revealed it at Comic-Con, they had a cast list up. I don't think Scarlett was on that cast list, but also I don't know what the production period was like. I don't know. I'm just happy to see Natasha doing other things, because that's all I want in my life.
Also, speaking of being dead, Killmonger's in it.
Yes!
Yo.
And we get more Killmonger, which I'm always happy about.
That's what
because
I want.
They killed that nigga.
And I was sad about it.
Same.
It's the only villain I think I've ever been sad about dying. I was like, no, bring him back.
Yeah, now he's in the cartoon. I love it. But yeah, that's my thought on What If. I'm super hyped.
Yeah, animation looks great.
Shout out to cartoons.
Shout out to cartoons.
Yeah, I found out Chadwick's voice, isn't it? And I was like, I cannot handle this, and I will not.
That's fair.
You should watch. I think you're going to like what they're doing with his story.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch that, and I'm going
Yeah.
to ugly cry while
I like what they're doing with Killmonger's story.
Not
That
a
That looks dope.
looks like really What If. Like, what?
Yeah.
But also topical. Not because it's Marvel related, but because it's spy related. Henry Cavill, Bryce Dallas Howard, Samuel L. Jackson are all going to be starring in Matthew Vaughn's Argylle. Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, and John Cena are also set to star in this movie. It is a spy film, as I said, which is why I said it's topical.
Looks
Dun,
hella
dun, dun, dun.
fun.
Henry Cavill is a spy again.
Yes.
Cast is lit.
Yeah, he really likes doing that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's
this is like
only
his
done it once.
third spiral.
No, he did it twice.
He did it in The Man
Mission
from Uncle.
Impossible, Man from Uncle.
I forgot about Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I went straight to Man from Uncle because I love Napoleon
Me
Solo.
too, yes.
He was
It
really dope
great.
in that
It
movie.
was so good.
I love Napoleon Solo.
He did it in an annoying voice, but it worked so well.
I feel
for
like the only thing to
character.
say about this is that the cast is dope. I think Dua
Yeah.
Lipa is also either she's
I heard something about that.
in it. She's also doing the song for it in like a James
Interesting.
Bond type of way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw the cast and I was like, I don't care what this movie's about. I'm going to see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you got Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston.
It's like The
John
Gentleman.
Cena?
Remember The Gentleman?
Oh,
we
The
saw that cast and we're like, I don't need, you don't need to tell me anything
I don't
else.
know what it's about, but I'm gonna see it.
And Matthew Vaughn is dope.
Yeah.
Matthew Vaughn is dope.
Like, continually makes dope movies.
Matthew
So,
Vaughn.
I'm
Can
with
you
it.
remind me of his work? I'm so sorry.
Kingsman.
Kingsman,
oh, hell
Kick
yeah,
Ass.
let's go.
When you
Some other
find,
stuff.
I was saying though, Matthew Vaughn, when you finally make Kingsman 3, dude,
What
just
about Roxy?
bring
Like,
back Roxy. That's all I'm asking. Bring back bring back Roxy, and I'm gonna bring it up every time the Kingsman are brought up, man. I'm gonna bring it back up.
I know you will.
I think every time we've talked about Kingsman, I
Yeah,
have brought
Of course.
that back up because I just thought it was stupid that she died. Listen, man, you know what? Women spies and their deaths, they're dumb.
Oh yeah, dude, Casino Royale.
Also topical for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Oh,
the theme
yeah.
going.
Hollywood, can you stop, please?
I know. I don't like it.
Sometimes you got to blow a nigga up. What's
Why
next?
does it always have to be the woman? Why is it always have to be the woman? Just women in general. Okay, I'm sorry. Disney releases the trailer for Encanto.
Oh, dude, looks so great.
It was funny. One of my friends is Colombian, half Colombian. I sent the trailer in the group chat that we're in, and I went, "Hey, have you cried today?" And she was like, "No, but I'm going to Target or something like that. I'll watch it when I get home." And then she got home and she watched it, and she sent me a picture of her crying,
Goodness
and she went,
gracious.
"I'm crying," and I went, "I wasn't expecting receipts, but I'm glad that this happened. I'm glad this worked."
It looks delightful.
Yeah, directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, I believe.
Really?
I thought he's just doing the music,
I could have sworn he directed this.
That dude is getting his bag either way.
dude.
He is
Good for
he is
him.
stacking that bread.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry,
that
he didn't
cheese.
direct it. Sorry. I'm thinking of Tick Tick Boom.
Tick Tick Boom. Yeah.
He directed Tick Tick Boom. He did do the music for Encanto, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it stars Stephanie Beatriz.
Yes. And
Diane Guerrero.
And I love her.
Oh yes. Oh,
It's
love
also
her
got
too.
Renzi Felice, who I love from Marvel's Runaways.
Dope.
Dude, it got every Latino that they missed for what
In
is
the
it called?
Heights?
For In the Heights.
Except for Stephanie Beatriz, who was
yeah,
in
who's
the Heights.
also In the Heights, in the Venn diagram of In the Heights in this movie. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda. and Stephanie
Wilmer
Beatriz.
Valderrama's in it.
Yeah, they went for every famous Colombian they could find.
I'm hoping he's funny in this movie. I've seen Wilmer Valderrama be pretty serious, and he's really great at it. But I'm hoping he's funny because
He probably will be.
he's the best at being funny.
But yeah, it looks dope. We don't know a lot about it. It was just people got powers, but not.
The main character.
Not the main character.
I was gonna call her Rosa Diaz. That's not her name.
No.
Stephanie Beatriz.
Yep.
Me
She's
that
so
bad.
different from Rosa Diaz.
Yes.
That it's really like.
This will be like the third movie I've ever seen of Stephanie Beatriz's.
Yes, because you will not watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's not so much that I won't. It's time.
Wait, what
It's
other?
time.
Just okay, we
movies
don't like
did you
House.
see? What other movies did you see?
That's fair. The Lego Movie 2.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Lego
that one.
Movie 2 and In the Heights.
Oh my god, I forgot. Because she does this movie called Half Magic, which is a little bit weird, and
I like weird movies.
I don't know if I recommend that one, but I like her in it. I just
Listen,
like watching her.
I started watching Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson in it. I haven't finished it yet, but I do plan to watch it all the way through one day, and that was weird.
Seems a little dark for you.
I was so excited to see that movie in college, and I never actually got around to watching it.
For those who don't know, Gabby, and
Yes.
probably a lot of other people, Under the Skin is the 2013 movie where Scarlett Johansson,
She plays an alien she has to seduce men in order to eat them.
Yes, that's what it is. And I saw the trailer, and I was like, that looks weird. And I saw some pictures
I'm pretty
on
sure
Tumblr, and I was like,
it's weird.
Scarlett's naked.
That's true too.
Still not going to watch it.
I'm pretty sure that trailer came out shortly before or shortly after the Avengers came out. So at that time, I was like, yo, Natasha Romanoff, Scarlett Johansson, like my favorite people ever right now. So when I saw that trailer, I was like, yo, I gotta see it. And I was also in film, like I was learning about film at that time as well.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, weird movie. I'll watch it. And I never got around to it. I saw the first 20 minutes, and it is indeed a weird movie. Also, the way that they shot it is this is so off topic.
Yeah, we are like
The way
an
that they
hour
shot
in.
it, though, is very interesting because... Oh, okay. The men lured into the van by Scarlett Johansson's character were not actors. Jonathan Glazer had hidden cameras installed in the van and only informed the men afterwards that they were in a movie.
It sounds like a weird porn. Can we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. That sounds like really
This is...
violating.
yeah, maybe.
Moving on.
Onward.
Let's not incriminate anybody.
WitcherCon releases... they already did it.
Whatever.
It's a trivia fact on IMDb. WitcherCon releases teaser for season 2 of Netflix's The Witcher and The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf.
All right, this is on you guys. I didn't watch it.
I love The Witcher, and so does Gabby.
Oh my god, I'm so
Whoa.
excited. Oh my god.
Super hyped. Did you watch the Nightmare of the Wolf teaser?
No, I haven't.
I'm super
But I
excited
watched
because
the-
it merges The Witcher, which I love, and it merges it with my newfound love, anime. Hey.
Time to check it out.
I'm going to say it once for Colin, who's not here. Demi is a weep.
All right, well,
weeb.
pour one out for the homie.
Yep.
Anyway, where
She
the
will-
animation looks real dope, and it comes out in August, so I'm super excited. And it's going to be following Vesemir, who is the man who trains Geralt, I believe. So that'll be interesting. But also, we are way more excited, obviously, about season 2 of The Witcher finally coming out at the midpoint of December.
Yes.
We're going to be trying to binge watch that before we have to do our top 10 TV series of the year lists.
Yep.
Because, oh my God.
Oh, and I'm prepared to just be like really into Geralt.
I'm going to be stressed. The thing that I noticed.
You know what, Gabby?
What?
I'm upset with you. Because here we are talking about Black Widow for like an hour. Just waiting for you to say something about Yelena. You're not giving us anything.
No.
Nothing.
And then we talk about The Witcher for 28 seconds and you're ready to thirst.
Oh, I
Over Henry
thirsted so hard over Henry Cavill while watching the trailer.
You thirsted over Florence Pugh while watching a trailer.
She doesn't want to do it for us here.
No, not
Whack.
today. Not today.
Whack.
Poor Florence. I've said too much.
Aw.
I can never meet her. I can never meet her.
I want to. I want to meet Florence and I want to meet Scarlett, although it'll be.
I can't.
I feel like
She's gonna know. I'm just like, even if she doesn't know, she's gonna know.
she's going to know.
And I can't.
She's going to know because I'm going to tell her.
I was gonna say, we're gonna tell her. She'll know.
It'll be like, it's like that scene from Frozen when he goes, I'm going to tell her.
Exactly.
Well, that's me in Dallas. If I meet Scarlett Johansson, for me at least, all I'm saying is I'm a fan of your work, and Natasha Romanoff happens to be my favorite character that you've ever played.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
That's
play it like me.
respectful.
Yeah, just like at the last minute, like at the end. So it doesn't.
I don't want to
Play it like you
Get
mean
off.
fearfully avoid her for the rest of her life.
Dude, like me and Chris Evans.
Okay.
No, I'm hoping at the end of that meeting, she's saying, "Hey, you want to make a movie?" I'm like, "Hey, let's
Yes,
make a movie."
let me tell you about my feelings about Natasha Romanoff because
be
you
clear.
need to know.
Do you mean like an under the skin movie in a van? Or
No,
like a
no,
movie
no,
movie?
no, absolutely no.
I don't think I could ever make a movie like Under the Skin. I don't have it in
that's
me.
too much. No.
That's a lot of work.
No.
Don't.
I am
And
also,
so many like legal like.
I also don't have that voyeuristic tendency. I
Exactly.
can't do it.
So many legal roadblocks that
There,
like
I went
I
there.
can't stand there.
Anyway, we were talking about The Witcher. Gabby was thirsting over Henry Cavill.
Yep.
I was about to say that one of the things that I noticed about this trailer, they are, and not even just the trailer, just the way that they're marketing the show in general, they are really hiding what's going on with Yennefer in this season.
Yeah,
Because
and I can't wait.
They released the teaser for Ciri, and then a week later they released a teaser for Geralt, and here we are. I was like, oh, cool, that means next week they're going to release a Yennefer teaser. They did not. And then 2 weeks later they had like WitcherCon or something like that, and they released the teaser trailer like for the entire season.
Yep.
And then they released the teaser for Yennefer, which was mostly season 1 clips, not a lot of season 2.
Love it.
And the season 2 teaser,
She
only comes in at
the very
end,
last second. Yeah.
which it's rough for me because Yennefer's my favorite character.
No, I know, but I love it.
But also, yeah, like
I
now
freaking love this.
I'm hella intrigued because
Yeah.
I'm like, what did you
I'm
do to my
also
girl?
hella
Where is
intrigued.
she? What's she doing this season?
But also, like, if you know, like, the video games, like, you know that at one point they are separated. It's just, like, Geralt and Ciri.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about the show. The showrunner, the first season, she was like, yeah, there's a lot of material for Geralt, but we don't have that for Ciri and Yennefer. So a lot of Yennefer's backstory is filling in the blanks of what's written in these books.
Yeah.
Which I think they did really well. I haven't read the books. I've read part of one of the books. I can't tell you about the Yen part because she's not in that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
it's
Yen's kind of a mystery and people don't really know much about her. They don't even know how old she is. Like, it's like wild.
We do on this show. She's like
it's a few hundred years old.
70 something.
No.
On
She's
the
like
show, she currently is.
No, she's like 200 years old.
No, she's not, because the timeline. She's like 70 something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
But yeah, that teaser's like 2 minutes, and Yen doesn't show up until like the end.
It's cool. I'm cool with the mystery, even though like if you've played the video games. First of all, if you played the video games, this isn't the first like 2 seconds of the video game season 1, or like really, really early in the game.
Yeah.
And
Season 1, Yennefer's story is explored from her at 14 years old to when she's 77.
Okay. So she's 77.
Yeah,
because in the video games, you're like, we have no idea. She's been around for a long time. Even she doesn't know how old she is.
No, the show was like, we got to put a number on this.
She is 77. Yeah, and she looks 25.
She looks fabulous.
She looks fantastic.
She looks 25.
What is her
actress
secret?
is
Her
about
and
25.
Cher are the only 77-year-olds that look like that.
Or actually 77.
Or Natasha Romanoff.
She's like 72, I think.
Goodness gracious. I mean, when Sade is 100, she's going to look 30.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Cher is 75.
Cher's 75?
Yeah, and she looks amazing.
Yeah, you know, Yennefer only looks 25 at 77 because her actress is actually 25.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I don't know which god Cher sacrificed, or like what she sacrificed at which god to alter to look like this, but amazing.
She found the Fountain of Youth with Bianca Lawson.
Yeah, white people don't get to do that. That's crazy.
Anyway, I'm super excited about The Witcher season 2. It feels like forever since the last season, but it feels like Netflix is going head first into this franchise. You know, we've got the second season coming. We apparently have an anime movie coming out, and then they have the animated prequel that they're also currently working on.
They're like, this is our Game of Thrones.
Yeah, The Witcher is busy right now, guys. They're so busy. Shout out to their showrunner. She's great.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to them for being inclusive.
Oh, true.
It could have been like Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Just kill all the blacks.
Or just have one black.
And kill them?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to cut that out now.
Why do you need to cut it out? They know what they did. HBO was good.
I said it.
HBO was good. That's it. That's all we've got for you guys today, man. Thank you, Scarlett Johansson, for 10 years as Black Widow. You did an amazing job. And thank you for executive producing this movie. I'm going to give you so much credit for this. Thank you so much. I needed it. Thank you guys for joining us on this very long journey. Thank you guys for joining me and tolerating all of my fangirlisms, because oh my gosh, I've waited 11 years for this and now I can retire from podcasting because what other movie am I ever going to be as excited for?
Absolutely not.
I mean,
can't retire.
Nothing, but you're stuck with us.
I'm stuck with you guys.
Yes.
I'm going to take a break now just because all of my energy has now been, I literally forgot anything else was happening this weekend outside of Black Widow. I was like, oh yeah, Blind Spotting has a new episode out, huh?
They don't.
They don't?
Yeah, why do you think I didn't talk about Blind Spotting this week?
Oh my God, that's lucky for me because I for sure was like, oh man.
Is David still listening to us? I'm just kidding.
David, what up?
What's up, also, bestie? I'm so sorry for having you listen to us go on for an hour again.
Yes.
You know what? Black Widow is worth it to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
You guys are going to get a lot more analysis when we get to that year-end episode, boy.
Yeah.
Join us next time. We will be doing a Throwback Thursday for Space Jam.
Yes. And if you thought I was trying to get Gabby to thirst in this episode,
Oh,
wait until
boy.
we talk about Lola. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, goodness gracious.
We have to go back to the trend.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be easy.
No.
It's going to be easy with that one.
No, it's not.
We got to try. We got to try. Hopefully, Colin will have escaped the Siberian prison by the time we do that episode.
We'll see. Yeah. Colin's a furry. If anything can get him here, it's animated animals. Thank you, audience. Thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon, and I for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Demi, as always, thank you for editing, putting us on YouTube, and repping for the Widow fans. According to an IG poll I posted, Scarlet's Harlots is not a good name for the Scarlett Johansson fandom. So we need to find another one.
Oh, man.
Because y'all some haters.
I was supposed to come up with a Widow one. I'm sticking with Widow's Web.
That's a good one.
I really
It's
like
fine.
Widow's Web.
I feel like
Or
people
we
will like
could
that
have
better.
been Widow's Bites as well. Speaking of which, her Widow's Bites are comic accurate this time around.
Is that
and,
the thing on her wrist?
Yeah,
Okay.
which is dope.
Wait,
Thank
what?
you.
What thing?
The little thing she shoots people with on her wrist.
Oh, yeah.
Those are her
things.
Widow's Bites.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I'm saying that they're accurate this time around.
It's like they
Oh.
made them
'Cause
better
they're
in the
gold.
movies.
Oh, yes. Got it. Yeah, because they're usually gold. Yeah.
They finally went comic accurate this time around, and it was great.
As they should. Gabby, thank you for making it clear how bitter you are with Marvel about.
I'm so bitter.
We know.
If I never get hired, I'm okay with that.
Guys, I want you to know that
If they're
I
like,
also
nah.
am, but I think I let all that out last episode when we talked about Iron Man 2, which if you haven't checked out our Iron Man 2 throwback, you guys should head on over there and check that out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, all I'm saying is if they feel guilty, they should. Marvel, you should feel guilty.
You can't see it, but I'm nodding.
Anyway, back to you, audience. What do you think of Black Widow? Are you upset about Taskmaster? Do you have a better name for the Scarlett Johansson fandom? Answer all of these questions for us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr, Creative Differences Podcast, or Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC. If you want to talk to me about Mythic Quest and or Florence Pugh, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at A King Named Simba.
If you want to talk to me about how we were done in Injustice, you can find me on the Instagrams at Stegosaurus.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to talk to me about how I refuse to acknowledge the fact that Natasha Romanoff is dead. She's alive. She's just retired somewhere. She's cool. She's living her life out there. And Marvel can't tell me no. So you guys can find me, as I said, on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. You guys can also just talk to me about Natasha. Thanks again for joining us.
Yes, and if you want to find Colin, you can find him on Twitter at @HalfBlackWidow.
Good one.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Yes,
That was
yes,
a
yes.
solid one.
Thank you.
Very nice.
All right, it's been different. Bye.
Bye.
I just want Gabby to talk about Florence on
No.
Night because that's what we're here for.
No.
You don't think she's a thick queen? Or do you?
Who? No,
You
I
just-
think she's a thick queen.
All right,
So,
we
Gabby,
should.
hold on, time out. Gabby, are you saying that you no longer want her to crush your head with her thighs?
Stop it.
I just need it. Like, what are we saying here?
Wait, I am curious. Did you change your mind all of a sudden?
Not in front of Eric.